Hello! Today's vlog is on Saturday, and I think it's time to officially say that all the vlogs will be on Saturday. Yeah, I'm done trying to mess with it. They're Saturday vlogs. Today's video is not as demonstrative like last week's was, and I hope you enjoyed that, by the way. I am talking about a topic today. It's gonna be very chill. Right now it's just me and my little girl dogs hanging out. There's one. I swear the room is not actually this dark. The lighting's just weird. There they are, looking cute. So I wanted to talk about Christmas parties. I could say a lot on this because my family used to do a big Christmas party every year. It's been a little calm, quieter because we've had friends and stuff move away, and we've been super busy. But we used to do a very big old one, and I know this is right around when people start doing them. And if you're like we were, the only thing that you really had to worry about each year, once you had it down in a rhythm, is party games. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Okay. Now for us, we always had like 3 or 4 families that would come. We'd buy little presents for everybody, maybe a big present for the family, and we put them all under the tree when they got here, and we timed it so that everybody got here and got to eat first. So we'd go the first round of food, and then we'd start with the games, and we would send out the kids, and technology being the lovely thing that it was, we devised a scavenger hunt. My mom would create a list of like 20 things that they had to go find and snap pictures of. And this would take them a while. So the adults had plenty of time to play their games. And for us, my mom always went out and bought like a bunch of little random prizes to give out to the winners. So we would all start usually with the Guess the Object game. And for this, she would get like 20, 30 objects, little ones, and put them on a cookie sheet, cover it with tissue paper, and then go around to everybody in the house and give them like 10 or 15 seconds to look at what was underneath the tissue. And then everybody wrote down as much as they could remember. Then everybody sometimes would get to go around again and get like 5 seconds to add more things. And for the person who guessed the highest amount correctly, they got a prize. And if anybody ever tied, my mom would do something like, okay, whoever can name another item first wins, or she would hide the tray thing and say, okay, what color was the tissue paper I used to cover it, or what was the tissue paper on the bottom? Something. And blah, 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 somebody won, they got a prize. My favorite probably was Guess the Carol, and there are so many versions of this, and you can find all these online. There's a bunch of different ways to play it, and for each way, like I said, there's a lot of versions. My favorite is probably the literal translations of song titles. For example, they would have something like Deer with the Red Proboscis for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, I wish I could remember a bunch more, but something like that's pretty easy, but they would get more difficult and more literal, and you'd really have to think about them to figure out the song titles. You can also play this where there's, you have to guess the song based on a verse, and it's not going to be a verse that you might know, and there are a lot of Christmas songs out there, and unless you sing all of them all the time, well, maybe not all the time, but there are a lot on there, and they will use the lesser known ones to trip you up. But another way to play that game is to jumble up the letters for each song and try and figure it out that way. You'll find a whole bunch if you want to do that. It's really fun, and we always play like a couple rounds of it. And obviously whoever gets the highest amount correctly wins the prize. Christmas trivia, which that's around so much that I think you can even find trivia cards for it at dollar stores now. Oh, we'd also, speaking of dollar stores, we buy a little Christmas jar and fill it with candy, and one of people would have to guess how much was in it, and whoever got the amount won, and they won the jar of candy, so, good prize there. Yeah. And by this time, the kids had started to trickle back in, so we'd finish up whatever game we were playing, or, with us, we'd always end up, segueing into, just a little talk jam session, as you do when you're around your peoples. And, by the time everything was all done and the kids had made their second round through the food and relaxed a little, we'd all do presents, and then, we'd play with it a little bit and then talk some more. Kids would make their third round through the food. Adults would make their second round through the food. Yeah, it was really great. And it's a little late for us to do it this year, but next year we'll probably do it again. And it should be a grand old time. So, yeah, that's kind of how our Christmas parties went. Do y'all do Christmas parties? Comment below and tell me what your favorite part was, or what, if yours is different from mine. Did you ever play the same games that I just mentioned? Talk to me, please. I needs to know that y'all are watching, that y'all are there. Alright, this is getting long, so goodbye. I love you, my darlings. I will see you next Saturday. Definitely. If I don't see you before then, have a great Christmas party if you're having one. I'll definitely see you before Christmas, so we'll come up with something cool to do.